So today is 1st of December 2023. Just wanted to do a quick little catch up and just talk about something that has been on my mind recently and I think would be useful for anyone watching this to hear. So first of all, quick little update. So far I've had more calls with coaches. Everyone I've talked to says the same thing. They believe there's something there, there's a gap in the market, there's going to be demand for it. Coaching is a growing market, so if I can establish myself and grow this and get this out there as the market's growing, I could be in a really good place here. The difficult thing is now is just finding out how to integrate the Facebook ads and what I've learned with that into the service, because I don't want it to be any old coach directory. I want the coaches to get personalised marketing as well, to help them stand out, to get them even more leads, so they're like guaranteed leads every month, if that makes sense. So that's where I'm at with that. So just need a bit of brainstorming to figure out how to do that. I'm going to do some research on current Facebook ads for coaches, see what people are doing. And then the other thing, I've realised I need to have systems in place for outreach. I need to be something that's constantly running, constantly going. So even if I can't cold call, I've got something running in the background. So I'm going to restart all my email campaigns again. I'm just not sure whether to start it now or not, because I'm going to need another 2 weeks to warm up the inboxes before I can start sending, and then it's Christmas, pretty much. Are people going to want to jump on sales calls right before Christmas? Like, everyone takes a break. So I'm thinking, set it all now, get it all warmed up, and then start outreaching straight away start of next year. So that's where I'm at with the business. And then the thing I wanted to talk about, which I think is important, is work-life balance. So for me, this was something I really struggled with at the start of this whole journey. I didn't know where the line was. I didn't know where to set the line, because obviously everything you see online is like, you need to be extreme, you need to cut everyone off, you need to disappear, you need to work your ass off, you need to become like a robot pretty much. And I think that sort of disorientates you and confuses you as to like what you should be doing, if you know what I mean, like how to actually balance the work life. But saying that, when I was in Dubai and I sat down with that billionaire, the main thing that I took from the conversation is, he said to me, life is about communication and it's about people. He said, humans are social creatures, and we need people around us. We're not made to be on our own. So I thought that was really interesting. And then that, with the fact that everyone online tells you to disappear, and before meeting the guy anyway, I was like, where do I draw the line? Where do I find the balance? Because obviously you want to work your ass off, you want to put in the hours, but you don't want to become lonely and have no one around you, because that loneliness can actually bring you back and draw you down and hold you back. Because we're not meant to be lonely, we're not meant to be alone. As he said, we're social creatures. So I really struggled to find that balance, and I hadn't really discussed it with anyone, but my friend is sort of trying to take the same path that I'm going on. I've sort of inspired him to do the same thing, and he's now trying trading and he's trying to do the same path. So I wish him all the best. But we were having a conversation the other day, and he was just we're just talking about it, asking him questions. And obviously it's been 2 years since I started this journey, and about just over a year since I actually started the business. So I'm not a mastermind on it, but I've learned a lot of lessons, I've grown a lot, and I've got a fair bit of experience. So I was trying to help him where I could. So he asked me about it. He was like, but where do you think like you draw the line with it? Because he was like, obviously I want to work, but he's like, I don't want to not have a life. And it is right. I think there is a way to do it, to do both. So the way I said it to him, which I think is a good way to look at it, is you've got to decide yourself, what if everything failed tomorrow and you got told tomorrow's your last day on earth, what would you be most happy about doing? How would you be most happy in the way you've lived your life? So for me, if I got told tomorrow's the end, you're done, right? I would be proud of myself with the way I've lived my life and what I've done. Even though I've not got the money or the status or the success in the business yet that I want, I'll be proud in the fact that for the last 2 years I've worked on growing myself, developing myself, learning. I've tried my hardest pretty much every day, and I'd be proud in the fact that I gave it my all and that I've managed to get to where I've got to so far. And the thing is with me, don't get me wrong, I'm not going out drinking every week, I'm not going clubbing every week, I'm not going to the bars, I'm not going to all the social events like I usually would, but I've found a balance that works for me, which is every now and then I'll go out and play some sports with my friends, or I'll go just have like more of a social gym session, or we'll go to paddle, or we'll go to tennis, or we'll go football, or like once every month I'll go to the pub with them to catch up with them. And that's a few hours out of one day on the weekend. And that's my balance, and that's the balance that works for me, because that gives me enough interaction. Like I said before, I was feeling very lonely at one point, but doing it that way gives me enough interaction that I don't feel alone, I don't feel secluded, I have that social aspect. But then it also means I can put in all the hours I need and really knuckle down and crack on with minimal distractions. And like I said, going back to like, if it was all going to end tomorrow, I would be proud of myself of how I've lived my life and the things I've done. Even though, like I said, I've not achieved what I wanted to achieve, the way I've grown myself and learned so much, I think I'd sit there and go, you know what, fair play, like you tried, you got dealt a bad card, but you worked hard every day, you done yourself proud, you learned so much, you still kept good relationships. So yeah, so I thought that was interesting to share, because it seems to be like a common thing that people sort of struggle with it. So all I'd say is, if anyone's watching this, if I ever post this, if you're in a position where you're fairly new to this and you're struggling to find that work and social life balance, here's what I'd say: do what you're going to be most proud of. If it was all going to end tomorrow, do what you think you'd be most happy with yourself in doing. And every person's going to be a different level. Some people might want to go out the whole weekend and work their asses off even longer during the week. Some people might not want to go out and just work for the whole week throughout. Or some people might want to do what I'm doing, where you go out for a few hours on one day in the week to get that bit of that social aspect, and then you work the rest of the time. So I think it just depends on what you want to do. The one thing I'd say is don't sacrifice your future for now, for the present, if that makes sense. Don't sacrifice going out all the time instead of working, because you're probably not gonna get hit by a bus. But I think you've got to find a balance where you have a social life. Maybe even if you go into networking events, so you're still getting a benefit from it. But you just need to work on the balance that works for you. As I said, for me, if you want to copy my structure, every day of the week, Monday to Friday, I work and I go to the gym, and that's it. I don't really see anyone, I don't do anything. Maybe I'll go for the odd run in the week with a friend. And then on the weekend, I'll not every weekend, but maybe 1 or 2 weekends out of the month, I'll go out maybe one time to the pub just to socialise. I won't drink, just to socialise for a couple of hours and come home, or I'll go do a sport activity with all my friends. And that balance works for me, and I've found that to be a healthy balance, where I don't feel secluded, I don't feel alone, I get the social aspect, but I get the most out of my week. And then yeah, so I'm living my life, I'm enjoying it, and I'm working towards my future. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. I hope that if anyone's watching this, that you can base your social life and your work life around what I've found to work. I hope it works for you. It works for me. But yeah, all I'd say is don't sacrifice your future to get a dopamine rush now. Like, find the balance that works for you, but in my opinion, make it a bit more make the scales a bit more heavier on the side of work. And I think, yeah, you'll do yourself proud. So that's my little input for today. That's where I'm at. So it's only 9:40 AM now. So I need to graft now, get some work in, do my reading. I've also been reading a book a week, and I've been doing it for a month now, and I'm still on track. So I'll finish my next book now, and yeah, catch you in the next one.